Good morning. Well, it's me, Nancy, today. I said that to somebody that's my name, and they laughed. Well, I thought I would share something with you. It's about how to communicate among family members. And it's very interesting. This is about people with mental illness. If a person has mental illness, we need to do this. Now, I think actually that I have a mental illness. I have ADHD. And I suffered severe depression years ago. Anyway, so people with mental illness, if they have trouble with reality, then you need to be simple and truthful. This is a sort of if-then. So, if people are fearful, stay calm. If people are insecure, you need to be accepting. If people have trouble concentrating, you need to be brief and repeat. I have a lot of trouble concentrating. I'm lost after a very short time. Like I'm lost in a conversation. If people are overstimulated, limit input and don't force discussion. You know, I find that driving through the forest, you can see how the light is flashing there behind them. If we're driving through a forest, oh, you're shaking a lot. If we're driving through a forest and there's light, strobe lighting into the car, flickering as you go from shade to sun to shade to sun to shade to sun. I find it's very, I'm going to try and put this there. Oh, now I lost it. Yeah, I lost myself many times. Okay, so, if you are overstimulated, limit the input and don't force. If someone is overstimulated, then limit your input and don't force discussion. Ellen is very good with that. He doesn't talk much, which always limits the input.
There's no input to speak of.
What?
There's no input to speak of.
To speak of, that's right. And if people become easily agitated, I find that when I'm overstimulated, I become easily agitated. Like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. So people that become easily agitated recognize the agitation and allow an escape. I don't understand that. Allow escape. Become easily agitated. I guess you don't confront people that become easily agitated. Have poor judgment. Sometimes I have very poor judgment. Would you concur?
I'm not sure it's safe to say anything about this. No, just silly. You are generally have good judgment, I think.
There, he's so sweet. Should turn you more so you can see him. There, that's better. Now you can be part of the conversation, William.
I'm flattered.
You're flattered. This rotates, but only so much. Okay, so the next part is have changing emotions. Oh no, for people that have poor judgment, that make poor judgments, you should not expect a rational discussion. Do you think that there's times that we shouldn't have a rational discussion, Luna?
Of course, that's a difficult question.
Is it a trick question or just difficult?
I don't think there's any problem with the rationality or lack thereof of our discussions.
Good, you passed. Okay, have changing emotions. Now, would you say that sometimes I have changing emotions?
Yeah, sometimes.
Disregard. So, people have changing emotions, you must disregard them. Or disregard the changing emotions. Yeah, that could be a problem if I'm happy one minute and then miserable the next. And you were like, or expect me to stay happy and not allow me to be miserable.
Really?
Yeah, that would be a problem if you, so disregarding the changing of emotions and not expecting someone to stick to the good emotion. Okay, have changing plans. Keep to one plan is what we need to do. If people with mental illness have changing plans, then we need to keep to one plan. I have changing plans sometimes. But when I have lots of changing plans, I just label that puttering. Oh, I'm going to make this. And I start to make it. I think I'll make this. I think I'll do that. I'm going to clean this. I don't like it when I have days like that. That's why I take my Alexa. To keep my brain sort of... disregard the changing emotions. Keep to one plan. Have little empathy for you. Can't you see things from my point of view? Don't you feel what I'm feeling? Recognize that as a symptom. It's a symptom of being a woman.
Is it followed in that all women have mental illness?
Well, it kind of looks like it. But no, I should say. That was a trick question.
It was.
A lot of women watch this video. There might be some hate mail coming.
Oh dear.
Okay. Believe delusions. Ignore it. Don't argue. So a delusion that I might believe is that it's not going to cost very much if we just renovate the whole house with them.
Right.
And so you have to ignore and don't argue. No, really. We'll be on time. It's okay if I play for a while first. Ignore and don't argue. Have low self-esteem. I don't think I have low self-esteem. Sometimes I have low self-esteem. I've had too many negative comments on my videos. And my self-esteem is kind of affected.
The two things you have trouble with.
Here it goes. My two
Pressure
faults.
and criticism.
Pressure and criticism. Criticism, I call that constrictive criticism.
I call it constructive criticism.
You got it from me, though.
No, you got it from me.
No way. I said it before I even knew you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I said it independently without hearing it from you.
I don't believe that for a minute. I think that I must have said it when you weren't really listening.
We'll have the discussion later.
It's not being filmed. Wait a minute, hold on. What is this? Have changing emotions, disregard, no. Have poor judgment, don't expect rational discussion. Anyway. Okay. So ignore and don't argue with the delusions. Have low self-esteem, stay positive. Are preoccupied. Get their attention first. That's what I always forget to do when this camera is just shaking up a storm. When I can't reach it. I know, it's just, I can touch it with my water bottle, but this is a heavy water bottle. Maybe if I drank the water, it wouldn't be so heavy.
I think there's a vibration in the car. Although, not at this speed.
What?
I'm not sure why the camera is shaking so much.
That's because the ground is uneven.
Maybe.
Feel it. We're on snowy ice.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the cause. I'll see if it's still shaking when we are on Highway 7.
It does sometimes. I could stick something in there.
Oops.
See, I'm being empathetic towards your plight of a shaky camera.
Not my problem.
Their problem. The
Their
viewers.
problem.
Yeah. I was speaking
The
to
viewers.
them.
Okay.
Just because I say you doesn't mean it refers to you.
Well, you told me I was part of the conversation.
I know you are part of it. But you're
Is
not
that
all of it.
rational? Is that rational?
Let's see. Wait a minute. Where's the thing about rational? Poor judgment. You're okay. Okay, so are preoccupied. I think that a lot of times when I ask you to get something for me or tell you where something is, I don't always have your attention.
True.
In the middle of other things. And so I think that causes lack of communication.
Yeah, I'm sometimes preoccupied.
So am I. We're both preoccupied and we don't notice that each other are not listening as we give instructions. I remember once you asked me to pick up your dry cleaning. No, do the laundry. I was floored that you would ask me something. I'll do it if I feel like it. You're so good to me, you don't tell me to do it. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't even think you asked me, will you be doing it today? Oh, maybe you've asked me about mending. Will you be doing any mending anytime soon? But I think that was years ago.
For once in a while I asked that and you never do it. So...
I really don't I'm not good wife material, actually. Good
You are.
Oh, good.
But the mending is sort of a problem because nothing gets mended.
Well, that's why we have a bag, and when it's full, we take it to the dump. I used to be so good at mending, but that was before clothes were free at the dump. When I found places to get things, hand-me-downs and whatever, I stopped sewing and I stopped mending. Okay, so we have to get each other's attention first. And if you are withdrawn, or if someone with mental illness is withdrawn, initiate relevant discussion. I think that's a problem, is I'm always talking about something that's of importance to me, but not necessarily of importance to anybody else. So we will summarize now. Do you think it'll take less time to summarize? Do you think we'll just come up with more examples? I don't know. It could be a problem. Okay, so here we go. People with mental illness. Well, if someone has trouble with reality, we need to be simple and truthful. If someone is fearful, we need to stay calm. If someone is insecure, we need to be accepting. If someone has trouble concentrating, we need to be brief and repeat things. If someone is overstimulated, we need to limit our input and don't force discussion. If someone easily becomes agitated, we should recognize the agitation and allow an escape. If people have poor judgment, we should not expect rational discussion. If people have changing emotions, we should disregard. If people have changing plans, we should keep to one plan. If people have little empathy for you, recognize that as a symptom. If people believe their delusions,